Hi everybody, my name is Louis and this is Traditional Black Powder. Today we're going to talk about a couple of flush kits. Alright, if you don't know, flush kits are used in the cleaning process of cleaning a black powder gun, and especially for flintlocks, although they can be used also for percussion guns. What they actually do is, help you to maybe keep the mess down when you're actually cleaning your gun. I clean my gun in the traditional way. I use hot soapy water, and obviously you have to pour it down the barrel, and with the ramrod, with the suction of the ramrod, it actually works the black powder, and actually the soap and water will actually deteriorate the black powder that's been fouled in the barrel. What these actually do is help you keep the mess by attaching them to the flash hole, and therefore you can use a reservoir like a large bottle like this, and put a hot soapy water in a bottle like this and have the tube going down there connected to the flash hole, and then the suction of the ramrod will actually suck up the water and then deposit it back down to the reservoir without having a mess. So let me talk about this kit first. This is a Flint Flush Kit, and this is kind of, I think, kind of a universal flush kit that can fit most muzzleloaders out there. Basically, with this clamp, you actually clamp it around the, you'd have to remove the lock. But basically, you clamp it around the barrel, and it has like an O-ring over here that will actually compress as you tighten it against the barrel, and will cover the flash hole so the liquids would not spray out and will go back into the reservoir, which is what this end goes into. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me give you a quick look. That right there is the flash hole, and it has this particular gun is a Lyman Great Plains, and it has a insert, and you would remove that insert and also the lock and put this clamp around it. And I'll show you how this works later on. So this particular kit I like better. I like the system better. It actually works for Lyman, Investment Arms, Cabela's, and it says other Italian replica. And it's simple and actually screws onto the flash hole. So the only problem is that you have to make sure that the thread type actually fits your gun. But they make more than just this kit, and you'd have to look into it and see if it actually fits. What's nice about this one is that basically it has a thread that goes into the flash hole, and then you hook up the tube at the end like that. This one's new. The other one that I got I misplaced, so I can't find it, but it's a good, it's a nice solid feel as far as the fit. It's not going to leak out once you get it in there. And what's nice about it is you hook this up to the flash hole with the other end going to your reservoir, and then you're all set. You don't need to clamp on anything, and it's a perfect fit every time. So let's see if I can do this and show you how they actually fit. We have to remove the lock. This particular lock it's only held by one screw. Okay. Turn it over. Okay. Take that out. So what we have here, that's the flash hole right there, and it has this particular one comes with like I said, an insert, so you'd have to remove that. That's the insert. So here's the first one, which it's okay, and if you can't find one of the types, one of the kits that actually screws on, this is how you would fit the other one. You would put it in here, and it actually clamps onto the back, and you start screwing it in until it actually fits. I have the rubber hose hooked up to it, so that makes it a little harder. So let's unhook that. If I can show you that better. So this kit clamps on. It'd be almost like a C-clamp, okay? So you get it out in there tight, because finger tight's not going to do it. You'll have water coming out with the pressure of using the ramrod. And then you hook up the tube and put that to the reservoir. And this kit would be good for you know, a one type use all, and you can use it for multiple guns. Or if you couldn't find one of the other types that actually threads onto your gun. But the only problem for me is that it takes a little bit more effort to get a good seal, and if you don't get a good seal, you will have water everywhere. So here comes the other type, and I like this much better. It's so much easier. Basically, you just screw it onto the thread hole here. Be careful not to cross thread. My fat fingers can't do it very well. Okay. So now we have that, you know, and this one you can actually do finger tight. And once you do that, you hook up the tube. It's hard to do this behind the camera. Okay. So this is how it's going to be set up. So basically, when you have the hot soapy water in the bottle, which is your reservoir, then you have the tube connected to the flash hole, and you start using the random. When you actually pull it up, the suction power will actually get water all the way inside the tube, and when you compress it, it'll push everything back into the bottle. You do have to be careful when you actually compress it down. I found out the hard way is that you need something heavy at the end over here, because the compression that actually, the forces that you create by pushing down the barrel, it's pretty good. And if you don't have something heavy at the end of the tube, it'll come out and start shooting all over the place. And I had that happen to me I think the first time that I used it, and I got water everywhere. So it was a nice little cleanup job. So again, these are two of the kits that I use. This one again is kind of a universal type of kit. It probably fits in most muzzleloaders that you have, and given that they're traditional type. And the other kit, and this is one that I prefer. I find it a lot, like I said, I find it a lot simpler to attach to the flash hole, and there's no clamping and not making sure there's a good seal and alignment issues. And it's actually cheaper. I think it's about $7 or something like that. But I found both of these on Track of the Wolf, and I've been using this one a long time and never had an issue. So my preference is this one, but that's not to say that this can't work. And this one actually has the versatility of fitting other guns besides just the one that, or a few that this may fit. So the choice is yours. I think both of them are pretty good, and it just depends on what you want to do. And for me, since I do use hot soapy water to clean my guns, these type of kits actually have helped keep the mess down and actually make the job a little bit faster. So thanks again for joining me, and until next time, keep the tradition alive.